Fine. Okay. Fine. So to start with, as I told you earlier today, I'll be talking about MicroStrategy and the feature that it has introduced and how it can improve organizations. It can help organizations with the zero-click analytics. Before starting, I would like to give a brief, before going to the hyperintelligence part of the zero-click analytics, I would like to give a brief overview about MicroStrategy as a company. So MicroStrategy, they were established in the year 1989, okay, and they were the first one who actually had introduced the concept of business intelligence data analytics way back in 1989. They are present across the globe, and they have got offices set up in UAE. They have a strong team of 50 plus professionals working on the ground in UAE. So they are actually committed to the region. Okay. And they have made quite serious inroads with the customer acquisition they have done across the Middle East, especially here in Saudi Arabia, in Qatar, in United Arab Emirates. Some of the customers that they have been able to acquire over the course of the time are like they have acquired Saudi Telecom, Mobile, DU, Emirates, Fly Dubai, Mashreq Bank, you just name it. So they have got all the big names associated with them in this region, the Middle East region. So yeah, just moving on to the next slide. As I was talking earlier, MicroStrategies has been a pioneer in the field of business intelligence. They were the one who had introduced the concept of intelligence in 1999, and they were the one who had introduced the concept of mobile intelligence in year 2019. And again, even for the self service, they had introduced the concept in 2015, and they were the pioneers. They were the first one to do that. Later on, everyone followed it. And the year 2019, they actually came up with a concept called as hyperintelligence, which I will be talking about in detail in the next few slides. Okay, fine. This is a question. Are you able to? Yes, yes. Vivek, thanks. I can hear you. I can hear Vivek. Yes. No, no, sorry. You are on mute. Yeah. Okay. Vivek, you are on mute. If you have any questions, if all you can just type it in, and I will be answering at the end. Okay. So as I was talking about hyperintelligence, MicroStrategy are the first one. Again, they are the pioneers who have introduced the concept of hyperintelligence in the year 2019. So I'll be speaking shortly what hyperintelligence is, what zero-click analytics is, and how you can empower your organizations. Before moving that, we need to understand a few things. Enterprises, they actually make decisions. A lot of decisions are made at enterprise level in the organizations that you work with. Okay, but look at the number of decisions that you make in a day. Okay, a lot of these decisions are actually data centric decisions. What if you can enable the workforce within an organization to make quick decisions within seconds? Is it possible with the current setup or the current scenario that you have? I believe no. So MicroStrategy, what they did is that they actually worked towards an idea wherein they can enable the workforce to take decisions within seconds, to present data to them, which will help them react quickly. Okay. In another study that's been done, okay, only 30% of the people within organization usually make data centric decisions, or the decisions that they make are based on the data or are based on the statistics. And the remaining 70% are mostly based on the gut feelings, based on their experience. But in a world that we are living in the competitive world that we are living in right now, your decisions needs to be data centric. You need to have data at your hand. Okay. And you need to, and in addition to this, you need to understand like what is making this 70% of the people not using the data within the organization. I mean, you do have platforms, great platforms within the organization, analytics platform, business intelligence platform, the best of the class. But still, a lot of people actually do not use it. Like, what's the reason for that? We need to understand it. Some of the reasons for people not using the full capabilities of an implemented in-house BI or an analytics solution is something like you can say time, skill, and inclination. Okay, if someone who is working in the business operations or the business side, like he might not be interested, he might not be inclined in learning new technologies. Okay, because that's not his area, or people usually do not have the time, or simply they just lack the analytical skills. How you can cover this up? I mean, how you can make them learn these things? How is that possible? So for this, MicroStrategy came up with the concept of hyperintelligence, also called as zero click analytics. Okay, wherein they are actually embedding the insights directly into the applications that you are using on a daily basis. By this, what I mean to say is that, for example, you need to access a particular piece of information, a particular piece of report, key KPI information. What do you do in a typical scenario? In a typical scenario, what in the scenario one, what you usually do is that you actually contact the IT department, okay, and you ask them to provide you with a report. You give them the requirements, and they actually work on your requirements and then get back to you. So this to and fro process might take 5 days or 10 days. Fine. And in another scenario, what you usually do is that you need to log into a particular BI portal or platform that you have in house. Then you to navigate to a particular folder, then you to search for that particular report, then open that report. Okay, and people who are working in the business side, they will not be interested in wasting their time and or allocating their time to this technical stuff. So with hyperintelligence, what you can do is that you can present all this key KPI information directly into the mailbox or any web applications, or on top of your Excel sheets also. So I'll be showing a small demonstration going forward how this will actually look like. Okay. So looking at hyperintelligence from a different perspective, it will bring the relevant and the contextual answers to user when it is required. Okay. As I told earlier, hyperintelligence can be integrated with your Outlook. It can be integrated on top of your Excel. It can be integrated even with your mobiles. Okay. It's not that you need to log into a particular application and navigate to the screens. I mean, you can have this key KPIs within your mobile also. Okay. So for this hyperintelligence to work, fine, there is something called as hypercards. The information to an end user is displayed in the form of hypercards, and these hypercards can be created basically on any type of objects. For example, you can create it on top of your employee, or for example, you're an HR department, okay, and you need to look at the details for an employee that is working for you. I mean, you can create a card similar to like this, and this can be injected directly into your Outlook. Then you can create it for your customers, the customer information. You can create for the activities that you're doing or the open cases that you have, for the account management, for the products within your organization, or for example, you are a retail based organization. You can virtually create cards for any entity that you have within the organization. Okay, what a card actually looks like: at the top, basically you have header wherein the key information regarding a particular object or an entity or a person is displayed, the master information, I would say, in other words. Then below that, you see over here, you have the detail information, the key KPIs information that you need to look at, which will actually help you in making quick decisions within seconds. Okay, and the below you have recommendations wherein you can integrate this hyper intelligence card along with the machine learning algorithms to give you quick recommendations, smart recommendations. Okay. Coming to the data sources, it's not that you can like in a typical scenario, what you usually see is that when you're working on reports, they actually work with a certain set of restricted data sources. But with hyper cards that are a component of hyperintelligence, you can connect to more than 200 plus data sources, whether it be structured, unstructured, or semi-structured, whether it be a web-based application or a desktop application. No matter what kind of database you have, no matter what kind of applications you have, you can actually integrate all these applications to your card. Like if you speak in terms of the databases, you have OLTP databases like Oracle, SAP HANA, SQL Server. Then if you're looking for the big data, you have Hadoop. Okay. Then you can also integrate this with the applications, like you can integrate with Google Drive, with Facebook, with your Salesforce, with your CRM. The list is endless. No matter what kind of data source you have, no kind of what kind of application you have, you can integrate it with it. And when it comes to the security of these hypercards, okay, you can actually control what information is being displayed to what level of user. Okay, for example, a sales director is viewing a particular set of information, and that particular information is also being viewed by an analyst. So using the access control list that is provided by MicroStrategy, you can control what person is viewing what information. Okay, questions? Okay, thanks. Fine. Let's look at a brief description of the hyperintelligence products. So, hyperintelligence product, as I was talking during my initial conversation, like when I started, it can be integrated on any web application. It can be integrated on top of any mobile, and it can be integrated on top of your Office 365 suite. So, what is MicroStrategy Hyperweb? Okay, so by MicroStrategy Hyperweb, what I mean to say is that any application that you are running on any browser, okay, whether be it any ERP application, whether it be any CRM application, or literally any application that you're running, this hypercards can actually be integrated directly with that. Let me show you a small demo of it, how it actually looks like. Okay, for example, this is my email box, and I am a sales director of a particular company. Fine. So usually what happens that we have seen in the sales based organization, we have usually seen in the sales based organization that every week we actually spend a half of a day talking with our business development managers, account managers, the sales representatives, okay, to see what is their pipeline like. Okay, what is the expected revenue that they might be generating within coming weeks, what are the commits that they have, what are the risk that is associated with the pipeline, what is the total value of risk. So these are the key information. So usually what happens that in a typical sales based organization, I mean, we actually have meetings and half of the day is actually spent in that. Instead of that, if I'm enabling the zero click analytics or the hyper intelligence, what you call it, what I can do is that instead of having the need to meet each and every person, each and every business development manager, the account manager, the salesperson, what I can do is that the moment I integrate my hyper intelligence, okay, with my Outlook, I can just type in the name of the salesperson or a BDM to see what is his pipeline like. I enter the name for just a minute. Let me, okay, just let me log into this. Uh, okay, I just need to enter my credentials for this to work. Login. Yeah. So you see this. These are the list of the cars that I have defined for myself. So as I was talking earlier, I am the sales director, and I need to look at the pipeline for a particular person. More than a pipeline, I need to look at the key KPI figures. So what I'll do is that I'll just type the salesperson name. The moment, let me actually Run this again. Outlook. Okay, that's great. It's coming up. Okay. So what I can do is that I will just type in the salesperson name, Suhail. Okay. The moment I type the salesperson name, my name will be highlighted. Okay. And this is a salesperson. The moment I hover over his keyword, you see this all the key KPI information that I wanted to see as a sales director is actually shown to me. Suhail, he is my what do you call, a BDM, business development manager. He works for the hospitality sector for the Riyadh region. Then this is his phone number. I can have a look at the overall pipeline status, like how many leads, how many qualified, what are the risk value, how many number of risk he has got in his pipeline, what are the upside like, and what is the commit value. Okay, and here I have smart recommendation based on the machine learning algorithms, like why when the sales cycles have been slow. I mean, due to the current COVID-19 situation, a lot of deals have been committed for this that are expected to move to the risk status. For example, there is another account manager that I need to look at. For example, say Hassan. Let's type in the name. Okay, voila. You see this? All key KPI information that I want to have is being displayed to me when I want it. So just imagine how it will empower your workforce, how it will enable your organization to view the data at the palm of their hands. Okay. Then you have another example. I have an account manager named say Abdullah. Okay, I have it Abdullah here. See, all this information is being actually taken from the backend database, and it is calculating the KPI for you and displaying the information, the precise KPI information to help you understand the current situation that you have on hand, and it is helping you take quick decisions. Okay, fine. I hope all of you are able to get this concept of hyperintelligence, hypercards, of how you can integrate, how you can see the information directly from the comfort of your Outlook, because that's one application that we actually use on a daily basis. Okay, fine. You have some questions coming in. Okay, hi, yeah. So this feature can also be extended to the mobile also, mobile apps. Okay, so with mobile apps, what you can do is it will give you calendar based notifications. Okay, it can all this information that you just access right now on top of your Outlook, you can use this similar feature in your mobiles also. For example, I mean, you're traveling somewhere. Okay, you have taken a Uber or a Kareem to and you have a meeting set up, and you need to look at particular key information, key pay information. But and so for this, what you need to do is that you need to log on to your laptop, then navigate to the open the particular application, then navigate to particular folder and all that stuff. But with this hyper intelligence on top of your mobile, what you can do is that the way you do a Google search, what you need to do is that you just need to search for a particular card. You need to enter the keyword, the key name for which you want to search, and you will get the card displayed in this form. The way, okay, and the design that you see over here for this hypercards are not fixed. You can design it the way you want it to be. Okay, uh, I'll just be showing how. And this was the hyper office. As you were able to integrate this hyper intelligence card directly with your web-based applications like CRM and Salesforce, and you can also integrate this directly on your Outlook also. In my example that I had showed, my Outlook, I had used an example of Outlook on top of web-based. So if you have an Outlook on top of your desktop, you can also do that also. And how it all works, it's, I mean, you might be wondering how, I mean, how you can design this hypercards that I have been talking about. It's quite simple, you know. So what you need to have is that you need to have access to the right data source. You can build cards. Okay, and then you can deploy using a centralized MicroStrategy workstation. So when you come to the building of these cars, okay, what happens is that MicroStrategy provides you with the pre-built templates. Okay, it also helps you with the dynamic linking to the detailed report. For example, if you have the key KPI information and you need to look at the items that are at the line level, so you can actually create a link from these cards directly to this transactional reports also. You, as I told you, you have pre-built templates already. You can you have the drag and drop workflows, and you can do the granular formatting the way you want it to. Okay, so I mean, there's no coding that is involved in this creation of these hypercards. It's all drag and drop with pre-built templates that you have. Okay, and you have the dynamic links, you have multiple widgets that you can use on top of your cards, and multiple header options, so you do not need to bang your head on what kind of design you need to want. Everything is available from MicroStrategy. This is a small demonstration of how you can create a card on top of data source. Okay, see, I have this ability to change the template, whatever template that I want. It's up to you. This is the format. I can define the kind of format that I want for the headers. Whatever header I want, I can change the color the way I want it to be. Then I can drag and drop the attributes on top of my card. I can also integrate this with the pictures. I can define the headers the way I want it to be, and I can define the keywords on top of which I need to make a search. Okay, this is how it is done. And from here, I can do a dynamic linking to a transactional report. No matter what kind of report I want, I can dynamically link a report. Okay, and this is a normal text or a normal website. I mean, link that you need to add, you can add it. Okay, then what you have over here is that if you have any social media platform that you need to integrate your cards to, or like outside, you can do it with Instagram, with your Facebook, with your Twitter. You can actually integrate with that also with you. Okay, so and you can control the kind of information that you're displaying, or what kind of information and what level of information that you want to see in your card. You can do each and everything as evident in this example. Okay, see, I'm not doing anything, I'm not doing any kind of coding over here. I just have a proper data source that is defined for me, and based on that data source, I'm actually defining my cards in here. Okay, I can control the design the way I want it to be. So the good thing about this is that it's all drag and drop. There's no coding that is involved. Not a single line of code I'm using for my development of these cards. Not a single line. And you see this how quickly I will make this card. I mean, no, the text box. Okay, just see this. How quickly I'm able to develop my card. All it is taking me is like close to 2 minutes, and my card is ready. In a typical scenario, I mean, you would have had to raise this request with your IT departments, and this would have taken 5 to 10 days for you. But in this case, I'm actually able to build this card within 2 minutes. 2 minutes, it's all what it took me. So once you deploy this card, you can use a centralized platform. Okay, wherein you can deploy this card across your web-based application. You can deploy this card across your mobiles, your Outlook, no matter what kind of application you have, using the access control list, which MicroStrategy also provides you with a strong data governance policies. You can control which user is accessing what kind of information. Okay, so the good thing is that the card that I had developed just now, a minute back, I can develop it once and deploy across multiple platforms. So it's not that I need to develop a card for my web, separate card for my mobile, and separate card for my office. So what I'm doing is that I'm just doing it once and deploying across multiple platforms. So even my development effort that is required, even that is reduced. Just imagine how it will empower your organization and how quickly you can get data at your disposal. I mean, that is the key point that I want to keep across: quick, fast, efficient, crisp. Okay, and this is a small demonstration of how it will look on top of your CRM application. Okay, how hypercards will look on top of your CRM application. For example, I'm working with the CRM, a CRM application. Okay, I'm looking at the products. I need to look at the key information of the products, but for that I need to log into a separate system. But right now, what I'm doing is that I'm enabling my hypercards, okay, for these products that I had created. And see, the moment I hover over a particular opportunity or particular products, I'm actually getting the key KPI information with the backend. I do not have the need to log into multiple systems for this. In a usual scenario, what I would have had to do, okay, I can see what all the details information, like what codes are rejected and why it was rejected, to whom it was assigned to, and I have this ability to take quick decisions. See, this is how this is empowering your workforce. So in this particular example, I did not had the need to contact a particular person who was working on this code. I'm already getting this information directly, the key KPI information directly integrated with my CRM in the Salesforce application. Now, this is one good thing. About the one good thing about hyper cards is that, or the hyper intelligence or the zero click analytics, it can sit directly on top of your Excel in Office 365. Like in my experience, I have seen a lot of people actually love to work with Excel. No matter what kind of tools you give it to them, no matter what kind of application, a lot of people, a lot of analysts, they actually go back to Excel. So this zero click analytics from MicroStrategy or the hyper intelligence feature, okay, with this what you can do is that you can also integrate this with Excel within Office 365, and you can have a look how this actually looks like. If I'm integrating this with Excel, I have an Excel sheet. I'm just hovering my mouse over the keywords, and I'm getting the key KPI information that I need to look at. Okay, so just imagine how your workforce is being empowered. Okay, they it is actually enabling them to make decisions based on the data that they have within the organization instead of the gut feelings. Okay, uh, now I'll be showing some of the hypercut examples that you have for the insurance and that we have created for the insurance and the call center uh, industry. This is one sample of hypercard that we had created for a particular insurance company. Okay, with this card, I have all the key KPIs. Suppose, for example, I'm working within an insurance organization and I get a call uh, from a particular end customer, and he is asking for the details with regards to his claim. Okay, what's his status at, and what are the details with regards to his claim. So what I can do is that I can just type in the claim number, and the moment I type in the claim number and I hover my mouse over that particular key word or the number, I can get this type of information wherein what I get the information related to his vehicle, like what is the claim amount, like what is the premium, what is the deductible amount, what is the denial rate, and the average close timing. I also have the smart recommendations coming from the machine learning algorithms. Like in this example, you can see approve claim and issue payment within the next 2 days. This is another sample of a product card within an insurance organization. I mean, you have the annual premium, you have the policy count, policy renewal rate. So all this key KPI information. I mean, your senior management or the analysts who are working, they do not need to rely on your IT teams to get this particular piece of data. Okay, it's the reliability on their IT teams is actually quite reduced. So you are getting this information directly into your mailbox or directly within the application that you use on a daily basis. And this is an example of a call center, the cards. So, but okay. So my purpose of showing you this examples of hypercards is that I mean there is no fixed format of designing this hypercards. Okay, there is no fixed format. You can design it the way you want it to be. The possibilities and the limits are endless. And the good thing is that there is no code that is involved from your side. Fine. So let me go through an example of hypercard that I was showing you. Another example. Okay. For example, suppose you are a car servicing organization, okay, and you actually handle clients that are quite high end, okay. And for example, a customer calls you to know the status of his car, like what is the servicing status of his car, whether it has been serviced or not. And so, will it be feasible for you to keep baiting that customer? Will it be a good thing if he's a high priority customer? No, it would not be a good thing. I mean, it would really reflect bad on you if you ask him, okay, sir, please hold on a second, and like I'll get you the right information, and it will take for you 5 to 10 minutes to get that information. And we have seen that, and we have experienced this. But this with hypercards, what you can do is that I have a customer calling in, and he gives me his like car number. I just type in 7311. Okay, I get this. I get all the detailed information for the customer who just called me in. Who is the customer, like what's his contact number, his car details, and whether the servicing for his car has been completed or not. Okay. Similar way, a customer with a plate number 4561 calls me in. I just use the same principle. Search it. Okay, I get it. I hover my mouse over this particular keyword. Okay, what happened? Just give me a minute. I believe this got disconnected. Sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, just let me log in again. Citrus sales. Yep, with credentials. Okay, you see this customer with the card number 4561 contacted me, and he wants to know what is the current status. So in a typical scenario, as I said earlier, I need to log on to multiple systems. I need to make him wait over the phone, put him on hold with the beautiful music in the background. You know, instead of that, you see, I just type his car number and I get the information like how much of his car has been completed and how much of this is pending, on which branch this car was received, who is the account manager, and why there has been delay. Delay has been because the parts has not yet been received. And if I need to look at the job code or the work order details, what I can do is that I can click on this and navigate to the particular report in detail if I want. But that's not my objective at the moment. It's similar for other cars also. I have the key KPI information. This is how it will work. Fine. So this is how it will help me cater to my customer. This is how it will help me take quick decisions on hand. This is how hyper intelligence or the zero click analytics will empower your organizations by giving them the right information at the right place at the right time. So this is all about hyper intelligence. Now let's see if we have any questions coming in. So if you have any queries that you need to be answered, okay. If you need to discuss the licensing aspect, yes. If you need to have discuss in details regarding the use cases, absolutely, I'm open to that. This is my email ID. Please feel free to contact me. Okay. Thank you everyone for your presence. Have a great day. Bye.